It's been a minute. I hope everything's going well on your end. Been doing a lot. Oh, wait, I should have adjusted. Hold on. I should have did this before I started the video. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know how long it's been. Maybe a week. It probably was. It probably hasn't been a week. It just seems like it's been like that. I've been working on some stuff. If you've been paying attention, I dropped some new art recently. I have this new series that I am slowly trying to roll out. What would be, I would consider my first rollout where I'm actually trying to roll it out. Now, I'm not doing any ad spin, any of that kind of stuff, but I am doing just the process of posting I have a trailer that I want to try to work on, just these little sneak peeks and just different things that I want to play around with. This will just basically be me practicing for the future going forward. So not a lot of fanfare or anything at the moment, which is understandable because, there's so many artists, so much content for people to consume these days that being able to be seen in that, you really have to put a lot of time into pumping content into the system. Or at least if you aren't posting a ton of content, I would assume, just from my vantage point, I would assume that your content has to be great quality that also gives great information and value to the person watching it. And I wouldn't consider that my artwork is bringing anyone value. Maybe this because I'm building the story behind it. I've always had the base story for the series that I'm working with called Lost Signals. I've always had the base story for it around these, at least currently, there's 4 main characters that are in a post-apocalyptic world where gravity is it's just chaotic. It's different from time to time. It can be extremely heavy. It can be light, send you up into the stratosphere. You just never know what's going to happen. And also, oxygen is scarce, and you have to wear helmets to breathe. All this kind of. I've always had the base for the story. I've never just really dug deep into it and tried to build out the rest of the story. I've always figured I'd never have enough time for this stuff. I've had the idea for this for years. I've had ideas of many other ones for years as well. And this is me just at least, scratching that itch, I guess you would call it, because no matter what I do, I tell you, no matter what I try to do something else with that has nothing to do with art. I always get pushed right back in this direction where I'm going right now, and I try to jump over and do something else, and then slowly I get pushed right back over here again. It happens every time. It's been happening 10, 15, 20 years because I just not being confident enough in myself and what I create to think that I could be in a place where I'm able to make money with the artwork that I create. Just been, I got to do something else because this art thing in my head, I'm telling myself, this art thing is never going to be something. So do this. And then I get pushed right back every time, over and over and over. And I'm back here again. I'm like, okay. Because I've had ideas for these stories and animes. This is another one. I don't want to talk about it. Never mind. There's stories that I've had in my head since high school. And I'm in my mid-30s now. So I know let's just keep getting pushed back to these things. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to actually be at least telling people a little bit about the story. At this point in my life, I know that things are never going to be. It's never going to be a perfect time for anything, because I know, especially for this and a lot of other stuff, I was waiting for the perfect moment to begin, and those perfect moments. You know what? Let me reword that. That's because there are moments where you need to capitalize on your moment, I would say, but you can't just wait for the perfect time, because it might never come. You just have to try and put things out into the world, which I'm doing now, because I also have free digital downloads of my new series, Lost Signals Volume 1, that I have available. They're all wallpaper size for desktop and mobile, and I'll leave the link down below for you to download. But I just want to put all of and it's not just art, the story that I have for this. I want to start recording myself telling that story, building out these characters more, really the lore around this universe that I'm building for this particular story, because I have many others that I've always had ideas for, but I've just never dug into them. This is just one of my favorite ones that I want to really fill out and start building and see where it goes. Of course, I'm looking for a way to monetize it at some point. I know people say you don't want to rush it, but if I'm going to be putting my time and effort into this, I need to be able to get something out of it financially, at least to be able to support myself, and also be able to invest in different softwares, more hardware, so that I could improve upon what I'm trying to build. I have updated my what they call Linktree. I'm sure you probably heard of it. I don't know, but there are other link sites like that. But Linktree, where it has all my links for social media, and then I also have the ways you could invest in the journey there financially. It's just different ways you can do that. I will be making prints available very soon. I'm going to do some to go along with the free wallpapers that I have currently. I'm going to start doing some paid ones for everything going forward. So if you wanted to buy those digital versions, you could support that way as well. And I want to try to build some more things that could have financial movement with them, so that I can again support myself in this journey going forward, so I can make these ideas a reality. So I'm taking these steps, and I'll say this too, because I don't really like to talk about this a whole lot to you, but like I was saying earlier, I'm being pushed in this direction over and over and over and over and over again. I know it's a higher power there that's pulling me this way. Every time I try to go do something else, I'm getting pulled right back. So instead of fighting it, I'm going to lean more into it and maybe this is going to be when I break through, because I've always thought with my artwork that I needed to see the path that I'm going on. At this point, I see nothing. And I don't know where I'm. Every step I take, the path is revealing itself currently. So, I don't know what that means. It's scary because I've always had an idea of where I thought I should be, but maybe that's not what I'm meant to be. That might not be the direction I'm supposed to be going in. So now everything in front of me is like thick fog. I'm looking down at my feet and I can see a path, but only like 2 inches in front of my foot that's closest, like that's further, the furthest in front. Every time I take another step, it just reveals a little bit more of the path, but I just cannot see anything through the fog right now. So I'm moving, I'm taking the steps forward, and I'm just praying that it leads somewhere where I can be. I don't even know how to. I'll just keep that more for me. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing right now. But I know I'll tell you about it eventually, but I want to get there first. Yeah. So how are you? Are you good? Hope you're good. I need to look more at you. I'm always looking around. It might just be recently because I'm just so unsure. But one thing I do know, I'm leaning more towards art and my creative parts. I've been writing again. I always used to, that faucet would turn on in my head like every night. All these different ideas for stories and the story behind it, the characters. I'm starting to put that on paper and typing it on the computer. And then see what happens with those. I just need to get the stuff onto something so that I can either look at it, or I just don't want it to be just come out of my. I just don't want to think about it and then never think about it again. Is that the way to say it? Or the ideas come to me and then I don't do anything with them, like nothing. So then they fade off into oblivion and never to be heard from again. Or maybe fall and attach to someone else and they make it a reality. But I'm moving forward. I'm actually working on some art right now that I started working on, but I wanted to make sure to talk to you for a second before I really got into it and started trying to finish it up. So, yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you as always. Thank you for hearing me out like you always do. I really appreciate it. And again, I have links and everything below if you want to follow the journey. I have an email list that I'm doing now so that I can have exclusive content for people going forward. Yeah, I'm just doing a lot of stuff that I'm really uncomfortable with, like asking people, sign up for the email list, but I'm trying to figure out a way to do it that's not that, if that makes sense. But it's just these things that I have not been doing for myself art-wise that I'm starting to do now that are extremely uncomfortable. But I have to do this because I'm leaning this way. So I have to do these really uncomfortable things. But yeah, let me go ahead. I got to finish this stuff up. Thank you so much again for listening, for hearing me out like you always do. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you next time. All right. Till next time. Peace.